Let us start another important concept related to programming with Java, particularly data structure related programming. It is basically handling data. So, data can be available to your program from different sources like file, it can be from network line, or it can be from another program. So, there are many sources rather from which the data can be available to your program. Also, you may need to push data from your program to different destinations, like you want to store data after manipulation into a file, or you can pump data to some other network line or like this one, or any database system, whatever it is there. So, data therefore needs to be processed from several sources as well as to different destinations. So, in this regard, Java developer has proposed one very elegant and systematic package. This package is called java.io package. So, today our topics basically is related to learning the java.io package, and actually this java.io package is very exhaustive one package, actually many classes, and in each class many methods are there, around 70 different classes are there, around so many interfaces also there, and for each classes around on the average maybe 20 methods are there. So, you can understand so many things are already defined. So, it is bit exhaustive and then very voluminous on right package we can say, and try to understand about the concept in as much as details it is possible, right. So, this module consists of few lecture videos, okay, we will cover it one by one. So, today it is an introductory coverage. So, in this class we will cover basic concept about the stream, rather we can mention more specifically it is IO stream. IO stands for input output, and we will discuss about the basic architecture about the java.io package. There are many interfaces, the many classes, few classes are related to the exception handling also are there. Now, broadly all the classes those are defined in java.io packages can be divided into two broad category. They are called byte stream classes and character stream classes. So, today we have an introduction about these byte stream and character stream classes, and then in our subsequent discussion we will study all these stream classes in details with illustration as much as possible. So, today now let us first discuss about the concept of IO stream. So, as you know, stream is basically is a flow. So, is a flow of data. So, flow of data in Java it is called the stream. Now, you consider the data, how actually data are stored in computer memory. So, in the raw form the data is stored in the form of a byte, few bytes for say integer 4 bytes or long maybe 8 bytes like this one. So, it is basically bytes as a raw form of data. So, byte is the one sort of stream, right. So, whenever we receive data from say file, actually we receive in the flow of bytes. So, it is called the byte stream, actually stream of bytes. On the other hand, there is another concept is called the character stream. So, here I want to say few things about, see all these bytes are machine friendly, rather machine can understand better, but we the user usually familiar to the data which we can understand. For example, some data we say that it is integer or numeric data, some data we can say that is a character or string type, or something like mixing of both integer, character and whatever it is there. Now for this purpose, Java programming language, like any other programming language, they provide certain data types. Those are called primitive data, like int, long, short, boolean, char, string also one sort of type in that sense, of course, although it is not a data type, it is an of class rather object. Anyway, so these are the different primitive data types are there. What I want to say here, that from the programmer point of view, all data are primitive data. Whatever the data we manipulate, they are in the form of primitive data ultimately. But at the other end, when it goes to computer, it basically form as the byte form, so byte data. So if we the programmer, right, want to manipulate data, better we like that data should flow in the form of a primitive type. Now how this primitive type of flow can be there or possible? In this regard, again, Java is another what is called the unique programming language which supports all data or whatever primitive type, whatever you can say, can be stored in some form. Particularly Java, in order to make it platform independent, it follows some unique format or rather unique code to represent all what is called the alphabets, rather symbols that a programming language can handle. Now you probably know C or C++ programming language, they follow all the symbols or language alphabets using only 256 symbols it is. Some are printable, some are non-printable, and they are basically in the form of ASCII code. ASCII code is basically International Standard Organization, they provided a code, and that is the ASCII code actually, and it is basically 8-bit code. So 0 to 255 is the value of each code. Like for example, capital A, the ASCII code of capital A is 65 and Z is 91, like this one. So there are different what is called the ASCII code have been formulated, and it basically machine follows this code. So whenever we type capital A from our keyboard, ultimately it interchange according to this ASCII, that is called American Standard Code of Information Interchange, we will convert it into the bytes. So it's basically 64, 65, we convert in the binary bits, then it will be there. So 65, as we know as capital A, actually it is stored in the form of a binary of 65 numbers. So this is called ASCII, but in Java follow little bit sophisticated and more smarter way of reading code or representing code, and it follows Unicode. Unicode is a coding format where unlike the ASCII, it is basically 16 bits, rather we can say 2-byte code it is there. And this Unicode follow different encoding format. There are many encoding formats, those are known, and those are format is used for our web page development, JavaScript or PHP or any other programming purpose in internet programming. They are called UTF-8 and UTF-16. So it is called the universal transformation format. It is 8 means it is 8, it can be 1 byte, it can also varies from 1 byte, 2 byte, 3 byte, 4 byte is concatenated, but UTF-16 it is basically a better way of converting Unicode to this unified transformation format, that is for the encoding. So Unicode is basically a character set. and as you can understand that with say 8 bits ASCII code, you can have limited 0 to 255, that means 256 different codes, but using Unicode you can have many different representation rather. And one more important thing is that the Unicode set varies from language to language. So, there is a different Unicode values for say Hindi, Devanagari language. Similarly, they are different for Chinese, for different other languages also. Now, what is the advantage of storing the data in this Unicode format is that it basically makes platform independent, and it can also allow you to represent the information or data in any language specific actually. It can be in Bengali, it can be Hindi or this one. So, in that sense I can say that there are certain Java programming tools also available which you can consider to write your programs in Chinese language or in French language like this one also. Anyway, so it is possible because of this Unicode standard that Java follow actually. Now, so here the character stream is basically a stream of Unicode flow it is there, which is more readable from the programmer point of view, but from the machine point of view is a byte stream is more readable. So, these are the concept it is there. Now, let us have the idea about this one, that byte stream versus character stream. As we have already told about that byte stream is basically in the form of a binary bits, where the character stream is in the form of a Unicode, right. Now, actually these stream concepts coming into the picture because your program should manipulate data, and this data can be obtained from the different source, and that data can be in different streams like maybe byte stream, can be character or whatever it is there. So, what exactly the requirement is that, as we have mentioned here, that these are the different source of data. It can be file, it can be network, it can be some other program or whatever it is there. It can be standard device input like keyboard like this one. So, your program should have the capability to read data from different type of source of data. Now, these capabilities therefore is very difficult because the data that can be in different form and different source have the different ways to manipulate data, and which is very difficult if the programmer has to deal so many things are there. Now, Java programming has been planned so that it can be made universal and it can be applied to anywhere in any settings, any platform. Right? So, that is why there are certain interfaces are required by which program can deal with their source of data through this interface very comfortably, very conveniently, that the programmer can have it. So, this interface basically communicate the device and your program nicely. So, these interfaces is basically by means of different what is called the classes that can basically handle the inputs. So, these classes are called input stream classes or character stream classes we can say. Now, just like these input sources, the data can be flowed to different targets or destination. The destination can be like simple console or display monitor, it can be printer, it can be file again, or it can be network line, whatever it is there. Now, for your program, if you want to send data to a network line, then you have to manipulate or implement many what is called the programming methods or programming codes for that purpose, and which is basically a tedious job because for different targets the different manipulation techniques are to be programmed. So, that is why again Java developer propose one interface here. This interface basically deals your output stream properly. That means from your program this output stream classes or concept will consider your data to be flowed into the destination very comfortably or conveniently. So, there are two streams called input stream and output streams are to be there, so that your program can read data and can write data from input source to output source perfectly. So this java.io basically provides this stream concept, and this stream concept in the two form, the byte stream and character stream, to facilitate this concept, this idea actually, or this mechanism. Now, so java.io package is therefore there. So this package rather, what you can say is that have the all sort of operations or methods rather, we can say, by which it can read data from any type of input source, and there are also method like it is reading from input source, it can also write data to any output source from your program. So, we will study about how your program can have this kind of sending data or receiving data from output source or to output source or from input source by means of input stream and output stream things it is there. So, now let us consider the concept about this. As I told you, input stream and output stream, these are the two concepts, and these two concepts are to be supported to the to be supported. So, Java developer has provided a package for this purpose. This package is, as I told you, java.io package, and from JDK 8 onwards the Java developer has introduced another new package. It is called the new input output. So, this package is called java.nio. Java.nio far faster than the existing java.io package, having more utility, more facilities, but in this course the java.nio package will not be covered. Anyway, so let us first limit to our what exactly java.io package. It is extensive as well as it is basically all square one package which you can fulfill whatever the needs you have, it is possible there. Now, there are many interfaces for this purpose has been planned in this package. First, let us see what are the different interfaces are there. I will just simply list all the interfaces. Details of the interfaces will be discussed while we will discuss them individually in the context of the different type of stream that we will cover. So, these are the interfaces which are defined here in java.io package, as I have listed here, like closable, data input, data output, externalizable, then file filter. These are the different name actually. So, these interface, as you know, the interface is basically has a design plan, and all those interface defines the methods, their signatures and whatever it is, but body is not defined there. So, only declaration of all methods are listed there in this interface. In some interface some fields or some constants are defined. Actually, all these interfaces are implemented by some classes which we will discuss later on. So, these interfaces are basically targeting the different purpose, different functionalities that a programmer may require to manipulate their data. Those interfaces again can be categorized as a input related, output related. Here we have listed all input output related interfaces are there. As from the table you can see, there are many interfaces. Now, while we are handling the different sources of input as well as output, you may face many errors or exceptions. So, to deal all these error and exceptions so that your program can be made more robust or reliable, there are many exception classes also can be planned. They are basically under the class called IO exception. So, whenever you read the document, then you will say that this method will throw this exception, file not found exception, all these things. So, name of the exception given in such a way that from the name you can understand that why this exception occurs and in which point it occurs. Those are the exception handling mechanism you can apply so that you can pinpoint the exception and you can address those exceptions so that your program can be more reliable. So, in this table I have listed those are the important exception it occurs. The name is a self-explanatory. For example, one exception say EOF exception, it basically indicates that it is related to the file. Whenever you want to read something where the file reaches only end of file. So, end of file exception, file not found exception, and many more exception techniques are there. So, all exceptions are basically is an children or you can subclass of the superclass. The superclass is IO exception. So, IO exception covers all the exceptions. So, that way we usually write, while we write the program related to IO handling, only we just, in order to try catch, right, we just simply try to catch IO exception, it catch basically all exception, and accordingly we can check it. So, these are the exceptions basically to make the program reliable, and this is important because you are dealing with different source and targets of input and output. Therefore, that error may occur anytime. So, better to deal the errors, and that is why these exception classes are defined there. These are the classes defined in that java.io package. Right. Now, let us come to the discussion about the Java classes for input output streams. Now, as I told you, the streams, whether input or output, whatever it is, so we can just simply consider either byte stream or character stream. So, byte stream means the input flow, that means from the source to the program is in the form of a raw data, raw bytes. This is the byte stream input. Similarly, output also from your program you can flow the data in the form of a bytes. So, it is a byte stream. On the other hand, character stream means it is a Unicode. It is in the form of a text, we can say. Text can consist of any symbols, that also can be any language, Hindi or Chinese or French, whatever it is they are possible. So, this basically is a text. So, these are the different streams are there, and accordingly the different classes are there. Now, Java, to handle so fast things, they proposed very good class hierarchy. So, here basically we can say all classes related to Java IO, we can say the Java stream classes, okay, can be broadly categorized into two different classes, right, or different categories. They are called byte stream if it deals with raw bytes like, and then character stream classes. So, it basically deals with Unicode type like. Now, byte stream again of two type, they are input stream, it is more specifically called input byte stream classes, and that output byte stream classes, that is called the output stream classes. So, input byte stream, output byte stream, they are input stream, output stream. And then those are basically related to the different devices, the different what is called the classes are there. That is okay, I will give you the summary of the different classes related to the different type of source that we can think about, both for input stream as well as for output stream. Now, again from the character stream classes, there are again two type, reader class and writer class. Reader class is very similar to the input stream, that is related to the byte stream, and writer class is just like output stream related to the byte stream. So, this reader class is for input streaming and writer class is for output streaming. Here reader class for character inputting and the output writer class is for character outputting. And then input output, it is just like in case of byte stream also, there are many targets or source. The source may be hardware, any type of hardware. Pipe is basically a flow, that is basically related to our threading mechanism where pipe come into the picture. If you are familiar to the Unix program, Unix operating system, possibly you know the concept of pipe is there. So, it basically the source, from one source it will go to another destination, and this is through, it is called the pipe. So, there are different types of input and output source and destinations, we can say, dealing with these things in the form of a character stream classes are there. So, these are the different class hierarchy in a very as a bird view point of view, I can say. Okay, it is very broad level classification, I can say. Now, let us have little bit detailed classification. But detailed classification better we can start with input output byte stream classes. What are the different classes are there? As I told you, it has two types, input stream, rather we can say input byte stream. So, this table list whatever the classes are there for input byte stream related things are there. Now, all these classes, as I told you, it is basically interface between your program and the sources that is possible for input, and that is true in the form of bytes. So, input byte streams, and here in this list I have listed many type of sources, like say buffer input stream, byte array input stream, data input stream, then file input stream. Now, file input stream, as the name implies, you can say here the source of data is file and we want to read data from a file in the form of a bytes. Likewise, pipe input stream, as you can say, it is basically we want to read from a pipe as a byte and as an input. So, there are many other things are there. So, we will try to, we will learn actually. So, different byte stream classes related to inputs and with illustration better, so that we can understand all those things and utility of there. And I have given a brief what is called a text about each classes. So, I should suggest you that you should manage your time to check all these meanings are there. At this moment you may not understand what exactly the things it is doing, but while I will use them and then write and illustrate them using a program, you will be able to understand many things very nicely. And further, I have given enough effort to have a good documentation, giving lot of things in more details. Those link also I will give you, so that you can follow this link and then you can follow the materials there. That will make your learning complete. I am sure that okay, it will help you. So, these are the input stream classes. Like input stream classes, there are output stream classes. So, this table, okay, I will come to the output stream classes later on. Now, here actually the input stream classes basically for reading, and many methods are defined in all those classes. For example, file input stream classes. Now, all methods are basically of same what is called the name, but working of this method is different, which has been taken care in the corresponding class implementation. So, as a programmer you should not worried about how all these things are implemented or defined in the program. You just simply use this method to solve your program, which I will again give the enough illustration and then demonstrate programming writing. So, the different methods which are basically defined, all the classes that we have listed in the previous slides, the table, the methods are here. So, it is called the read method. As you know, it is basically read as a byte. So, here read, but store in the form of a byte array, So, here read byte, but within the certain offset like available, basically to indicate that how many bytes are still available to read from the input stream. This is skip, means you can jump, okay, instead of sequentially reading you can jump. Reset means you can, whatever you are currently reading, you can reset into the starting point also. And close means the stream needs to be closed. Always whenever you open a stream, there is a necessity that you should close the stream. So, these are the different methods defined, all the classes which we have listed earlier in the table, and all the methods are different purpose or different way reading actually, and depending on the different targets actually. But from the programming point of view, you do not have to bother about how the reading taking place, either it from a filter input stream or from a pipe input stream or from a file input stream. So you just simply read method, whether it is file or it is printer, irrespective of this thing, you will be able to apply it. You just simply create the stream from your program to, or you can say create a line rather from your program to input stream and then reading in the form of a byte, that's all. Now as an example, here I can say this is a particular example. Data input stream is another class which belong to the input stream class actually, and data input stream will allow you to read data the way the primitive data can be. Primitive data means short, long, int and everything. So in addition to these all methods, this data input stream also provide some methods which are defined here. So those things also we will be able to learn about it. So it basically it is a read sort, but read sort in the form of binary actually or bytes actually. But to you, whenever this read sort will return, it return as a short integer form actually. So anyway, so these are the different methods are defined in different classes, and while we will demonstrate all those using a program, we will be able to follow much more then. But here I am just in the process of giving the summary of this package that it supports you. So this is about the input stream package. Now likewise input stream classes, there is a output stream, different classes are there. Now here for an example, file output stream, you can understand what it basically. So that means destination is basically file, stream is output stream, and from your program if you want to write something into a file as a byte, you can follow this kind of class for your purpose. So this will allow you to create a channel from your program to a file. Likewise there are many. So this is from the standard input output, standard output device like console or something like, and then the buffer input is a buffer output rather, it is not input, it is a output, piped output, pushback, and there are many other types of output, what is called the destinations or output streams we can say is available there. And like the input stream, there are many methods also defined, and in the next slide you can see what are the different methods are there. So earlier methods related to reading, but this is basically output, so it is related to writing. So it is basically write, these are different write versions are there, close and flush. Flush means whenever you encounter something you want to clean the buffer or flush from your program to the destination output actually. So this one, and close is basically closing a stream, just like you have to close like input stream to be closed, output stream if you open it should be closed like this one. Now so these are the basically byte stream. Now there are some specialized method also available in some specialized classes, for example data output stream, which is very more convenient. And here actually if you want to write something of your own in a primitive form, that means if you want to write an integer, write an character or string, then these are the method that you can consider. Okay, so these basically allow you to write your primitive data, but ultimately all this primitive data will be converted into byte form, and that will store, by that will take care by the data output stream class and the method corresponding to that one. So this write sort basically take the short integer from your program, and ultimately it will write into the output say file in the form of a byte, that's all, that is. And write UTF for example, it will write in the text string format like, okay, and Java treat everything as a string like actually. Anyway, that things will be discussed while we will discuss about character stream later on, that's okay. So this basically the idea about handling the different output stream classes related to the byte stream. Like byte stream, there is another class also there, it is called the character stream. Let us see what are the different again classes are there. So for character stream is concerned, here I listed the many classes. As I told you, there this is just like input stream, it is a reader, basically input stream, but input flow of data in the form of a stream of characters, I can say reader take care about it. There are different classes like in the byte stream, here also buffer reader, then character reader, then input stream reader, file reader, string reader, and you know the file reader means it basically reading from a file, and reading from a file as a text, or you can say as a character. So, there the flow of data is a character wise. So, in case of byte stream, maybe the flow of data in the form of byte, 1 byte each, like here the flow of data in the form of a Unicode symbols, which is 16 bits. So, 2 bytes at a time, like so it is flow of bytes, it is there. So, this is the reader for the input purpose. Then likewise, there for output purpose also one different set of classes are there, which I have listed here. These are the writer related. So, it is basically outputting again from the character flow, and so the different number of classes are there in java.io package, by which you can flow the data from your program as a character to the output destinations. So, these are the different types, different classes are there, belongs to the two different categories like byte stream and character stream categories. And there is an analogy actually, because the two streams are to serve same purpose but different ways. So, byte stream is basically flow of data in the form of a byte, whereas character stream is in the flow of data as a characters. So, there is analogy. So, the reader which is there in character stream is basically input stream in the byte stream. For example, here so here is a file reader which is in the character stream, this is file input stream basically in the byte stream, like likewise in writer also it is there. And another thing is that for this input stream and for output stream, the way we will read from an input, for example the file, and if we want to write into the same file, then how it can be done, or from standard input or standard output, how it can be done. So, there is a basically, for example here if the file input stream is there, you can see file output stream is there. So, these two are basically complement each other, like it is for input and one is for output. Here is also in case of character stream, their name is like file writer and here is a file reader. So, if it read a character from a file and this basically read character from a write something as a character into a file, like. So, this also is a corresponding things it is there. So, there are actually learning a particular type of input stream also help you to learn other category of, for example byte stream, if you learn successfully you will be able to learn character stream also automatically, because same concept, same things are followed. Internal mechanism is different, internal mechanism absolutely up to the Java developer how they have implemented, but from a programmer point of view it is really is a boon, right? It is a basically is a lot of facilities that you can handle, you can have to deal with any type of sources, any type of destinations for your data is concerned. So, this is a very great advantage having this programming language, and you can have many things are there. Now, here the different methods, those are there, belong to the different classes and character stream classes, reader class. So, these are the different methods. The reader class basically it will allow you to read related operations as a character stream into the different from the different sources of data. So, these are the methods that declares there. Likewise, there are some methods which are declared there as a writer class. It is basically the methods related to writer. I am just listing all these methods, and finally we will take some time where we will discuss all these methods, then utility and then application writing program. Then only many methods will be very clear to you, so that you can understand, okay, this is working like this way, and that is the things are there. So, this is about just introduction about java.io package. I have tried to give the summary of this package actually, and in half an hour discussion you can understand how much I can give it, it is there. But if you want to have many more things, I should suggest you to check this link. This is a good link, of course, you can check it, where exhaustive material you can find it, and this is the link where I have manage all the discussion in the form of an HTML page, so that you can browse that page and then you can get many information, all programs and everything you can get it from here also. This is very important link for you. Okay, fine, we will discuss about programming with this java.io shortly, and fine, you just go through the things a little bit, and then when I come to the programming you will be able to understand much more things in details. So that will be followed from the next lecture onwards. Thank you very much.